When it comes to robotics, a lot of companies are working hard to try and make them not just happen, but happen in ways that go beyond the basics of robot making. Because if you really think about it, it's not hard to make a robot that can do one thing or another. But to have a robot that can act and move like a human? That's another thing entirely. Boston Dynamics has been a place that absolutely goes and makes robots that can do all sorts of cool things. And their robot, Atlas, might just be the best of the bunch. Allow us to show you Boston Dynamics Atlas, things you didn't know. Atlas. So, what exactly is Atlas? Well, simply put, it's a robot that was designed to be humanoid in form and in mobility, even calling it the most dynamic humanoid robot. We'll let Boston Dynamics tell the rest of the story here. Atlas's advanced control system and state-of-the-art hardware give the robot the power and balance to demonstrate human-level agility. Atlas has one of the world's most compact hydraulic systems. A custom battery, valves, and a compact hydraulic power unit enable Atlas to deliver high power to any of its 28 hydraulic joints for impressive feats of mobility. Atlas's advanced control system enables highly diverse and agile locomotion, while algorithms reason through complex dynamic interactions involving the whole body and environment to plan movements. Atlas uses 3D printed parts to give it the strength-to-weight ratio necessary for leaps and somersaults. And that only scratches the surface of what this robot can do. What do we mean by that? Well, Boston Dynamics decided they wanted this robot to dance. No, really. Dancing robot. The man who designed some of the world's most advanced dynamic robots was on a daunting mission, programming his creations to dance to the beat with a mix of fluid, explosive, and expressive motions that are almost human. The results? Almost a year and a half of choreography, simulation, programming, and upgrades that were capped off by 2 days of filming to produce a video running at less than 3 minutes. The clip showing robots dancing to the 1962 hit Do You Love Me by The Contours was an instant hit on social media, attracting more than 23 million views during the first week. It shows two of Boston Dynamics' humanoid Atlas research robots doing the twist, the mashed potato, and other classic moves, joined by Spot, a dog-like robot, and Handle, a wheeled robot designed for lifting and moving boxes in a warehouse or truck. Boston Dynamics founder and chairperson Mark Raybert says what the robot maker learned was far more valuable. It turned out that we needed to upgrade the robot in the middle of development in order for it to be strong enough and to have enough energy to do the whole performance without stopping. So that was a real benefit to the design, Raybert says. The difficult challenge of teaching robots to dance also pushed Boston Dynamics engineers to develop better motion programming tools that let robots reconcile balance, bouncing, and doing a performance simultaneously. So we went from having very crude tools for doing that to having very effective rapid generation tools so that by the time we were done, we could generate new dance steps very quickly and integrate them into the performance, Raybert says. The quality of the robots dancing was so good that some viewers online said they couldn't believe their eyes. Some applauded the robots' moves and the technology powering them. Others appeared to be freaked out by some of their expressive routines. Others added that what they were seeing was probably computer-generated imagery, or CGI. Not so, Raybert says. What was on display was a result of long, hard work fueled by a determination to program the robot to dance to the beat, he says. We didn't want a robot doing robot-like dancing. We wanted it to do human dancing and, you know, when a human dances, the music has a beat and their whole body moves to it. Their hands, their body, their head, he says. And we tried to get all of those things involved and coordinated so that it looked like the robot was having fun and really moved with the music. And I think that had a lot to do with the result of the production. Teaching robots to dance with fluid and expressive motions was a new challenge for a company that spent years building robots that have functional abilities like walking, navigating in rough terrain, picking things up with their hands, and use attached advanced sensors to monitor and sense many things, Raybert says. You know, our job is to try and stretch the boundaries of what robots can do, both in terms of the outer research boundary, but also in terms of practical applications. And I think when people see the new things that robots can do, it excites them, he says. The advanced Atlas robot relies on a wide array of sensors to execute the dance moves, including 28 actuators, devices that serve as muscles by converting electronic or physical signal into movement, as well as a gyroscope that helps it to balance, and 3 quad-core onboard computers, including one that processes perception signals and 2 that control movement. Still, the fact that the video of the dancing robots has fired up the public imagination and inspired a sense of awe was gratifying, Raybert says. We hoped that people would enjoy it, and they seem to. We've gotten calls from all around the world, Raybert says. We got a call from one of the sound engineers who had recorded the original Contours performance back in the 60s. And he said that his whole crew of Motown friends had been passing it around and been excited about it. So yes, there is a robot out there that can well and truly dance like a human. This couldn't get any worse. Oh wait, it can. Parkour Master. Almost 8 months after Boston Dynamics fascinated and frightened the world with a video of robots dancing like humans, the robotics company has amazed everyone once again. This time, the team is swapping the dance floor for an obstacle course and showing one robot's newly mastered skill: parkour. Parkour is a trend that challenges someone to get from one point to another in a complex but fast way. It often involves difficult jumps, turns, and flips across a variety of surfaces. Atlas, Boston Dynamics' humanoid robot, is 5 feet tall and 190 pounds, and completed the obstacle course at the company's Waltham location perfectly. In the video, 2 Atlas robots run on balance beams, jump on slanted platforms, and land impressive backflips. But after the video was released and quickly went viral, the company released behind-the-scenes footage showing the hours of work it took to create the 1-minute video. The robots crash a lot. It's not like the robot just magically deciding to do parkour, said Scott Koendersma, leader of the Atlas team, in a behind-the-scenes video. It's kind of choreographed routine, much like a skateboard video or a parkour video, where you know it's an athlete that's practiced these moves dozens or hundreds of times. The video showed bloopers of Atlas attempting to complete the parkour routine. Atlas can be seen tripping over its own foot, failing a backflip landing, and even spewing smoke while running. Koendersma said these mistakes are what helped the team expand their robot's abilities. We're exploring how to push its limits, sometimes operating at those limits, Koendersma said. We learn a lot from that in terms of how to build robots that can survive falling on their faces and getting back up and doing it again. We're always expanding and pushing the limits of Atlas's capabilities, and then, hopefully by extension, extending the capabilities of the company as well at the same time, Koendersma said. Parkour is a useful organizing activity for our team because it highlights several challenges that we believe to be important. What does this actually do for robotics? That's a fair question, but the answer is remarkably simple. Because what it all boils down to is that we've now proven definitively that we can get robots to do very complicated movements in a way that feels downright human. We've gotten robots to walk for decades, but to move them truly like a human and do complex tasks like dancing and parkour? That pushes things to another level. So, now that we can do these things with robots, it's fair to say that Boston Dynamics will go and try to push it even further. Or other robotics companies will see what they can do and try to do their own thing to top it. Each advancement pushes us further into the realm of fully functional and helpful robots. And you know what that means. Skynet won't be far behind. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Boston Dynamics and their Atlas robot? What it can do, and what this means for the human race as a whole? Does seeing something like the Atlas freak you out? Or do you think it's just the next step in our advancement of technology as a whole? Are you impressed with how far Atlas has gone so far? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.